So the game I'm playing today is called Bowman 2. This is a classic Flash game about two archers trying to kill each other. And that's about all there is to the game, actually. I mean, there's also a mode where you can hunt down birds instead, if that's more up to your speed. But aside from that, this is a really old Flash game. It came out all the way back in 2006. And I think the vast majority of people would consider it a classic Flash game, as it was extremely popular back when it first came out. In fact, the game has been played over 80 million times on Addicting Games alone. It also happens to be one of the highest rated games on Addicting Games as well, with an average user score of 97%. I do not personally have that many fond memories of playing Bowman 2 myself. I've definitely heard about the game in passing before. Like, I remember what this game is, but I've never really played it all that much for myself. In fact, I don't think I ever played it at all until like 2 or 3 days ago when I just randomly had a thought in my mind where I was like, you know, I kind of feel like checking out that Bowman 2 game for whatever reason. And because I've been trying to make an effort into putting out some much shorter videos in recent times, I figured that I could probably do a quick little video on this game today because Bowman 2 is a Flash game that a lot of you will probably remember. This is of course the sequel to the original Bowman Flash game, which I don't believe was anywhere near as popular as the sequel, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure who exactly was responsible for developing this game, but there is an advertisement for a website called freeworldgroup.com on the side of the title screen right here, and it seems like every single re-upload of this game on the internet has a link to this particular website, so I'm gonna assume that they're probably the developers of Bowman 2, so I think it's safe to say that Bowman 2 was developed by Free World Group, but again, I don't know that for sure, and any of you who know way more about this game than I do, please let me know who actually made this game, because I have no idea. Now, before I get started for real here, I want to give you guys a quick update on my current situation in regards to the whole COVID-19 pandemic that's occurring right now. So I mentioned at the beginning of the vignettes video that I was self-isolating away from home, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks now or so. And I just want to let you guys know that I have finally returned home now. I have returned home safely. I'm no longer self-quarantining away from home. I'm now self-quarantining in the comfort of my own house. So again, don't worry about me, I'm perfectly safe, I made it back home in one piece, and for possibly the next couple of months or so, I'm probably just going to be staying home because I have no other, like, you know, essential travel plans. I've got absolutely nothing else on my schedule, so I'm just gonna stay the frick home and make some videos now, so just wanted to update you guys on that quickly. I have made it back home, I am alive, I'm pretty sure I didn't catch the virus on my way here, I highly doubt so. Everything's all fine and good now, so with that being said, let's play Bowman 2 here. So it would probably be useful to read the instructions first, so here's the instructions. Master the art of shooting a bow and arrow with a mouse. To shoot an arrow, click anywhere in the game window, make sure you have enough room to adjust the strength and angle, and move your mouse back and down, and finally release the left mouse button when you're ready to shoot. And then for the game settings, click on the game settings link in the main menu to alter game parameters. Please note, show index displays the angle and power of your shot when you pull back an arrow. Critical hit doubles the damage if the shooting angle exceeds 45 degrees, and vitality is the number of hits needed to kill an opponent or die. There's actually another setting in the game settings menu that it doesn't mention here, but I'm going to talk about that later. So I guess just to give you guys a quick rundown as to how the game controls, I am going to go into the practice mode here very quickly. So Bowman 2 is by nature a two-player game. The way that the game works is that each one of you controls an archer, and you need to pull back on the bow right here and shoot an arrow at your opponent, and your objective is to try and kill your opponent. So it is possible to play two players here, and the way that two-player mode works is that each individual player takes turns controlling their own archer. Both archers can be controlled with the exact same keyboard and mouse. However, it's also possible to play against a computer opponent in case you have no one else around to play with. Or, you know, you could also just play two-player mode by yourself using the same mouse and keyboard if you're really that sad of a human being. But before we get to that, you're gonna want to know how to play the game. So what you do is that you left-click on the screen, and then you pull back to adjust the power of your shot right here. So your power can go all the way to 100, And you'll also notice that you can adjust the angle as well. You can adjust it all the way around here. You can even have negative angles if you want, which I'm pretty sure is not, like, you know, physically accurate whatsoever, because as you can see, the archer right here is somehow pulling back with his arms behind his head. But once you feel like you've straightened out your aim enough, you can then release left click and it will fire the arrow. Like so. As you can see, it just kind of goes flying. Oh wow, okay. I was actually not trying to aim for the target over there, but I guess these things just work out sometimes. But yeah, those are the basic controls right here, and for the record, those are the only controls in the entire game. So, it's just left click and hold, pull back, you know, adjust your angle and your power, and then just release left click in order to fire. If you want to see what a 100 power shot looks like, yeah, it looks something like that, where the arrow just goes flying across the field. If you want to know what a 0 power shot looks like, well, that's what that looks like. You literally just drop the arrow. Now, what's also kind of funny is that in this practice mode right here, you can actually fire the arrow into your head. So in order to damage other players in the 2-player mode, you have to try and hit the other player with an arrow. And you can also hit them in the head too, but I think that normally only does like normal damage, because I don't think it's possible to get headshots in this game. I don't think that's an actual feature. But as you can see, yeah, I can just fire the arrow into my head. But because this is practice mode, it doesn't actually damage me, even though there is a little bit of blood right here, but you can't die in practice mode though, so don't worry about that. Usually getting hit by one single arrow results in you only losing 1 hit point, but as I mentioned before, there's also a critical hit option, which causes you to lose 2 hit points if the angle of your shot is above 45 degrees. As in, it causes the opponent that you're shooting at to lose 2 hit points if it connects. But normally, they only lose 1 hit point. Also, another thing that I do need to mention as well is that arrows can also ricochet off of each other. So for instance, if you're firing multiple arrows into the sky all at once, it is possible to knock the arrow out of the sky with another arrow. Now, I don't think this is possible to do normally in the 2-player mode, but you can very easily see it in the bird hunting mode, and I think... Oh yeah, you can do this in the practice mode as well. You'll also notice that it actually causes the arrow to bend slightly, which is a really nice touch. A really nice graphical touch right here. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, there, see? Because if I remember correctly, I think the 2-player mode only allows you to fire 1 arrow at a time. Like, you have to fire an arrow yourself, and then you have to wait for your opponent to fire an arrow, and then you just trade arrows back and forth. I think that's how it works. But yeah, you don't really need to know anything else about the game's controls other than that, though, because, yeah, those are the only controls in the entire game. So, now you know how to play the game, let's actually go and start up a computer opponent match, because I have no other human here to play with right now. So we're just gonna go to a normal game for now. We're gonna go with versus computer. I am gonna show off some of the other settings that you can enable in order to make the matches a little bit more interesting. But for now, we're just gonna do a very normal match. I have no idea where he even is actually, but we're gonna figure it out in just a minute. Oh, good God. Okay, that was a little bit too short. Yeah, so that's the computer opponent that we're fighting against right here. Thankfully, he's also pretty terrible at aiming too, so I guess it works out in our favor to some degree. I don't have critical hits enabled, so having that angle go over 45 degrees is not really gonna do anything for us, because it's still only gonna do 1 point of damage. But yeah, this is literally the whole game. You're just trying to kill the other person all the way on the other side of the field. I kind of feel... Oh, wow, okay. I was gonna say, I feel like I'm firing that way too hard, but... Nah, I got pretty close there, actually, so I'm gonna see if I can, like, prime this up. I think it was, like, 38 degrees. You'll also notice that the actual degrees right here, like, the actual angles, they are very specific. They're, like, super specific here. So you gotta angle it up just right. Okay, so I think that was 38. Oh, God, okay. Well, that pierced right through my heart. Good God. So under normal circumstances, you only have 2 hit points before you finally die. So I'm gonna say, like, probably 85 power with an angle of 38, because that seemed to work out for me before. Let's see if this works right here. Okay, not quite. So maybe I can put a little bit more power on it. I need to be careful, though, because if I do get hit one more time, I will die. So, how about 89 power with 38 angle? Like this? Hang on a second. Gotta pull it back in a little bit. Yeah, maybe like something like this. This seems correct. Never mind, it's not correct in the slightest. Oh god, okay. I'm gonna keep trying for this angle, but I'm gonna keep, like, trying to mess with the power a little bit, because I feel like I'm onto something here. I feel like I'm onto something. I can taste it. Oh my god, that was so close. I'm trying to go for headshots here, but like I said before, headshots don't really do anything in this game, because they still do... I think they still only do normal damage. Let's try this. Is this gonna work? Damn it. I'm getting, like, so close to him, though. Oh, okay, well... I got that right in my crotch as well, so that was just, like... Good god, that was, like, actually gruesome. Okay, and then, yeah, just... For whatever reason, the game just resets entirely after that. Okay, let's try this again here, okay? Let's try this again. Try and get the exact same shot as last time, actually. Oh, man, is he further away this time? Or is he closer? I mean, alternatively, I could also just do this to see if this works. Hey! Oh my god, okay, wait, that may actually kind of work. It may actually kind of work this time, because it seems like he's a lot closer to me than he was before. Okay, let's try 13 with 100 power. Oh, very nice indeed, there we go. Is he gonna do the same? Oh man, I got that right in my neck. Okay, he is trying to do the exact same, actually. Okay, so let's see here. Because I don't know if all the levels are, like, generated randomly or not, or, like, his position is always random. I have no idea. But I think it's fair to say that he's dead. Indeed, he is dead. I still have an arrow in my neck, though, but I'm still alive. I win. It really does feel like this is the kind of game that you would play with a friend just to, like, kill some time when you have nothing better to do. Because, my goodness, man. Like, I understand that this game was extremely popular back in the day, because, like I said, just on Addicting Games alone, the game has been played over 80 million times. Like, that's not even taking into consideration all of the re-uploads that this game has probably had on other websites over the years, but... Yeah, my goodness. Oh, wow, okay, he's, like, literally right there. He's literally right there. Get out of here, for goodness sakes. Where are you heading? Where are you aiming that? Okay, well, that got right in my... Wait, did that not hit me? Did that not do any damage to me? I have no idea. Let's try this. That went right over his head. But yeah, I really do feel like this is like one of those games where, you know, you just have a friend over, you have a buddy over, and you have literally nothing better to do, so why not just kill some time like shooting each other in the head with arrows in Bowman 2? Because, I mean, you wouldn't be able to play this game online, because the kind of multiplayer that this game has is local multiplayer. Because the second player, if you're choosing to go to versus human right here, the second player has to be physically there with you. So that way you guys can take turns controlling your individual archers. Other than that though, the gameplay is really not that deep, and I guess if you want to see what versus human looks like, and for the record, the game doesn't always place the two archers that close to each other. I think it is completely random how far away they are from one another. So we can try something like this, for instance. Oh my god, why are they so close again? Yeah, but see, I'm actually controlling the other archer now. So I'm controlling both of them at the same time here, as you can see. I'm controlling both of them with the exact same mouse. And this is how exactly you would be playing this in the two-player mode. So basically, you would take turns controlling the exact same mouse and left-clicking and whatnot. That's basically how this would work if you had another person with you. It's really not that fun to play alone with yourself, though. That's the only thing. Now, if you do want to make the game a little bit more interesting, we can go into the settings right here. Now, you'll notice that there's add wall, add wind, and also critical hits. Now, critical hits is self-explanatory, and I've already explained what the critical hits actually do in this game. Double the damage if the angle of your shot is above 45 degrees. So, I don't feel like I really need to show what that looks like, though. You can also increase your vitality, as you can see, so if you want to make it so that you have to get hit 5 times before you die, you can do that, or if you want to get hit only once and then die, you can also do that too, you have that option. So I'm going to show what this is right here, adding a wall. So we're going to go back to versus computer. So you'll notice now that there is a wall in the way of us both right here, and we're just firing into the wall. So this essentially forces us to, to actually fire our arrows pretty far up at an angle that's definitely higher than 45. There we go, to actually, like, clear the wall altogether. Oh my god, that was a pretty good shot right there. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can, like, load this up with power right here. 45-degree shot. I think I fired that way too hard. Yeah, see, well, something else that I also noticed here is that the computer opponent doesn't seem to wait for you all the time. He doesn't seem to wait for your arrow to actually come into contact with either the ground or himself before he launches off another arrow towards you. That's something I've noticed, actually, because you'll see that he's also priming up his shot, because it also shows the index for his shot, too. I'm not entirely sure why it does that exactly, but it's a feature, I guess. Well, alternatively, we could also do this, can't we? Oh my god, that was actually really close. That was super close. Okay, so 100 power at an angle of 33, so what if I bring that down to 32, maybe? Then we can get a hit on him. Oh, nice. I got him, like, right in the shins. I don't think that's where I want to be hitting him, though. I think I want to angle this, like, a little bit higher. Gotta be very specific. 32.822. That sounds pretty good. Oh, there we go. Right on the mark. So I guess if you hit him in the legs, that doesn't actually count, because I did hit him twice already, and he hasn't actually died yet. So maybe hitting him in the legs does no damage, which I guess kind of makes sense to some degree. Oh, he still fired a shot off, but I think I'm okay. Oh, there's the other... there's the other arrow. Didn't even hit me. Very nice indeed. So yeah, that's what the wall is. So you have to... the wall kind of forces you to fire your shots up a lot higher, so that way you can just bypass the wall altogether. The computer opponents tend to struggle a lot with the wall as well, though. But that's one way you can make the fights a little bit more interesting. So you place like a barrier in between yourselves, so you're kind of forced to fire your shots up high, and maybe put a bit more power on them as well. I think the location of the wall is also completely random too, because I think it depends on how far away the game has placed the archers. So then you have another setting here called Add Wind. So, self-explanatory again, this is going to add wind into the game. Now, what is interesting is that you'll notice that this does have a nice little graphical effect right here, where there's a bunch of leaves blowing in the wind, and the speed of the leaves blowing in the wind also gives you an indication as to how strong the wind actually is. So as you can see, that arrow actually got blown right back towards me. So this can be very dangerous at times, because, yeah, it kind of just, like, slows down the arrow. But if you're firing the arrow in the direction of the wind, it can speed up the arrow. So I think I'm basically screwed other than this, because the arrow is blowing to the west. Okay, well actually no, it seems like I could still potentially hit him, but he has like an advantage on me though, because the wind is blowing in his direction. That's not fair. That is not fair in the slightest. I'm gonna have to kill him very quickly then, in that case. Ow. Am I dead? Okay, no, I'm not dead yet. And the wind does change throughout the entire battle, for the record. It doesn't stay the same for like the entire duration of the match. It will speed up, it will slow down, it can also change directions too, it can go from west to east. But I really do like these options that it gives you right here, especially the wind, because, you know, you kind of have to look at how fast the leaves are blowing and also the direction to try and make some calculations as to how exactly you want to align your shot, because it's not going to tell you how strong the wind is exactly. Like, it's not like Scorched Earth where it just tells you outright, like, the wind speed or anything, and also the direction of the wind, so you have to pay attention to the leaves. That's how you know. I do at least appreciate the fact that the developers put those kinds of features into the game, though, because I feel like it really makes the matches a lot more dynamic. Because I think it's fair to say that if you're just playing the game with the default settings, you're eventually gonna get bored. Like very quickly. So, it's a lot more fun to mess around with all these settings. And by the way, you can actually combine this with the wall as well. You can add both wind and a wall in between yourselves to make the matches even more ridiculous. If you want to see what exactly that looks like, well, here we go. I'm gonna do it right now, actually. So, we have wind, and it's actually blowing in my direction. Yeah, we also have a wall, too, so this is gonna be an absolute cluster truck of a match right here. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe I could do something like this. 62? Because, I mean, it's blowing in my direction. So that's gonna slow down his arrows. It's gonna speed mine up, though. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe something like that... Oh, I think I put too much power on that. Yeah, I think I did. Oh my god, that was actually a really good shot, though. He just barely missed the wall. Like, barely passed over it. Okay. I see what you're putting down. Like this, perhaps. Okay, that got really close. Yeah, and then he just fires into the wall. So what about 42 power? Okay, 42 power's not gonna be anywhere near enough, so I'm gonna have to put more on that. Yeah, so the wind's very slow, and it's, yeah, it's still going in my direction, though, so it's still gonna move it along a little bit. Okay, it landed on the top of the wall. Okay, now it's starting to speed up, so the leaves are blowing a lot quicker now. So probably, like, 45... Damn it, it's still hitting the top of the wall here. Okay, 45-degree angle, but I think I'm gonna wait, no. It was a 75-degree angle that I was hitting that at, I think. Pretty sure. Where's that going? Not even close to him. And now there's barely any wind, because the leaves are not even moving at all. Okay, so what about... I'm not even sure what that shot was. Alright. Like a power of 68, perhaps. Well, I mean, it passed the wall, but it still wasn't close enough to him. So what about 78? With a 65-degree angle? I don't like how he never seems to wait for the arrow to actually hit him, because then I can't tell if I'm actually hitting him or not, because the camera angle just changes suddenly. Well, at least the wind's very calm now all of a sudden, so maybe I have, like, some chance of doing this. Oh, I got very close to him, though. He already got me in the legs. Okay, okay. Let's try a little bit of this. Oh, damn it. Can't seem to figure out, like, how much power I need to put on this, or, like the angle at all. I'm struggling to figure this out because the wind's constantly changing. See, that's another thing I like, because you have to constantly adapt your strategy as well. That's what the wind basically forces you to do. You have to adapt your strategy accordingly, because the wind's constantly changing. Oh, I almost got him there, though. I saw that. Can I fire off more than one arrow at a time? No, it doesn't let me. Yeah, so I was right about that then, so you can only fire one arrow at a time, unlike in practice mode. 79 power with a 56 angle. I think I'm still hitting that way too hard, though. Yeah, definitely the most difficult matches to try and complete are the ones where you have both the wind and the wall enabled. Because you have to fire your arrows over the wall. With the winds constantly changing, you have to keep, like, adjusting the angle accordingly, and it's... oh my goodness. To be honest, it's not exactly more fun. If anything, it's a lot more tedious in some ways, but I guess if you want to challenge yourselves, though, then, I mean, you can definitely try it. Okay, I almost got him there, though. Okay, I got pierced through the heart again. My goodness, I'm gonna try. Can I at least hit him once? Damn it. 80 power with 52 angle. I think that was actually 75. No, I'm just missing him altogether. Oh my god. 52 with 78 power. The sun... oh, wait, I got him. I hit him. I saw it. I saw the blood. Okay, that's one hit. Okay. What was that? 52 angle with 78 power or something along the lines of that? Assuming the wind didn't change. Oh god, it's getting blown back. Okay, never mind. The wind definitely changed. Can I just fire an arrow into the ground just to see where I hit him? Oh yeah, I hit him right in the eye. Oh my god. Holy crap. Okay. I have to be careful here, though, because I've already gotten hit once, so... if he hits me one more time, then I'm gonna die. Damn it. As long as he keeps shooting into the wall, then, I'll be okay. Hopefully. Let's put some more power on this. Like that, perhaps? No, that was not even close. Okay, well. I got pierced through the heart twice in a row. My goodness. Alright. That was still a good match, though. I at least managed to hit him. Yeah, it's definitely very difficult to try and play the game with both the wall and the wind, but, I mean, you know, if you like a challenge. So I don't really have anything much else left to say about this mode in particular, or any of the other settings that you can enable, so... with that being said, we could also go to bird hunting, or I guess the last thing we could show off here is the bird hunting mode. So bird hunting is ultimately a very pointless mode, if I'm being completely honest with you, but it's a mode where you can also, like, practice your shots as well. So this entire mode has you going around and shooting birds out of the sky, basically. Now, what is interesting is that if you line up your shots perfectly, you can actually get some double kills here, or even triple kills in some cases. So you can have instances where you hit a bird with an arrow, and then it collides with another bird down below it, or even above it, and then you end up getting a double kill from that. Like that, right there. There we go. I made like a shish kebab right there. My goodness. Yeah, also, by the way, you can also hit yourself in the head with arrows as well. But again, you can't die in this mode either. But ultimately, this mode doesn't really have any real purpose to it. And the reason why I say that is because it's basically like a secondary practice mode. Because, again, it's just another mode where you can, like, you know, aim your shots, or you can, like, practice aiming your shots, but this time you have actual targets that you can practice with. But other than that, there's not really any real point to this mode in particular, though. You know, just want to have some fun, like firing arrows at some birds, then yeah, that's the only real purpose of this game mode, though. Not really anything else to it. Yeah, just another mode where you can practice your shots, essentially, and there's... Yeah, there's really nothing else to say about it. This is like the entire mode right here. Again, you can also see the, yeah, the ricocheting arrows in action if you want to, like, ricochet all your arrows off of each other. That's another way you can see that. Actually, I just realized that there's probably a way that you could potentially juggle the birds in the sky, because the arrow's already stuck inside of them. If you fire another arrow into that, it'll ricochet off of the arrow. That just gave me an idea for something. That gave me an idea for, like a trick shot of some sort. Okay, wow. Well, so much for the trick shot. It just, like, bounced back into me and hit me right in the neck. Yeah, there's literally nothing else to this game mode, but I do believe the birds spawn at completely random intervals. There's also different types of birds, too. There's, like, small ones that look more like crows, and there's big ones that look more like, I don't know, like pelicans almost. But, yeah, that's literally the whole game mode. I mean, if you want to spice things up a little bit... Where in the world did that blood come from, excuse me? Is the title screen bleeding all of a sudden? But if you do want to spice things up, the add wind setting does work in the bird hunting mode. You'll notice, yeah, the leaves are here. Yeah, see? Your arrows get blown around, so I mean, if you want to make things a little more interesting, then yeah, you can enable the wind in this game mode as well. And again, this would also be useful for trick shots too, because you could have it, like, get blown back into a bird that's all the way on the other side of the screen, potentially. I'm pretty sure the add wind setting also works in the tutorial mode as well, though. So I think you can enable it pretty much anywhere. So, yeah, there we go, just like that. See how it kind of, like... It kind of got pushed to the left and right into that bird right there. But yeah, other than that, guys, this is literally the whole game mode. There's nothing else to this game mode beyond this. Nothing else to this bird hunting game mode. If you want to just fire arrows in all directions, though, you absolutely can do that. Like this right here. There we go. Fire all the arrows, because you apparently have an infinite supply. They're all just ricocheting back into me. I'm losing so much blood right now. Oh god, the game's lagging a lot too. What in the world? What's happening? Oh. I think I just broke the game. That blood is not disappearing off the screen. Alrighty then, the game breaker strikes again. I don't think the add wall option works here though. No, it doesn't work here in this mode. Oh my god. Guys, I broke the game. I actually broke it. Because now, there's so much blood that it's rendering on the screen that it's causing the entire game to lag, and for whatever reason, it can't delete it either. Are you serious right now, dude? Oh my god. How did I even accomplish this? Like, I don't even know anymore at this point. Oh, it's just staying on my side of the screen as well. That's really weird. Oh my god, okay. Please, my computer's about to explode. Alright, well anyway, I just reloaded the game very quickly. And it does seem like that fixed it. Okay, I just wanted to see if this does still work in practice mode, though, the wind. And it does seem like it does. Okay, yeah, so the wind does in fact still work. Yeah, the camera doesn't even know which arrow to keep track of because I'm firing so many of them at a single time. Is the wall here, though? Oh no, there is no wall here in this mode, but I guess there is still the target, right? Yeah, it does seem like the target's still here, though. Yeah, so I don't have much else to say about this other than that, guys. That's basically the entirety of Bowman 2 right there. So, yeah. I think it's because there's so many objects on the screen, that's what's causing it to lag. Right, so with all that done now, I think I am actually going to just leave the video here, because that's the entirety of Bowman 2, guys. That's literally the whole game. So that's every single mode that you can play in the game, versus human, versus computer, practice, and bird hunting. All the different settings that you can enable, like, you know, adding the walls and the wind. I didn't really mess around with critical hits or vitality because I just don't think they're really all that interesting. I also showed what happens when you combine the add wall and add wind settings because you can actually do that. Unfortunately, it only works in versus human and versus computer. So you know what? That's it. I'm gonna stop the video here. I've mentioned everything that I've wanted to mention about Bowman 2. It's a great game if you're looking to kill some time, but I think it's a much more fun game when you're playing with another person. And also, you should definitely try playing the game with some of the additional options like add wall and add wind just to make things a little more interesting, like make the matches feel a lot more dynamic. Because at least with the wind setting, you have to constantly adapt your strategy because the wind's constantly shifting, whether it be in terms of like wind speed or even the direction. Bowman 2 also definitely reminds me of some of the old school artillery games that I've covered on the channel as well, because I think I mentioned something about Scorched Earth a little bit earlier in the video. This does kind of remind me of Scorched Earth to to some degree, just in terms of the mechanics. Like, you know, you have to pull back your arrow, you have to figure out how much power you want to put on your shot, and you can also adjust the angle. It's very similar to Scorched Earth, actually, and a lot of other types of artillery games like Shell Shock Live. And that kind of makes me wonder if maybe Bowman 2 takes some inspiration from those games, like those old-school artillery war games that were so popular back in the 90s. Because the more I think about it, the game is definitely reminiscent of those kinds of games. It's basically the same mechanics, like even the rapidly shifting wind as well. Because as I mentioned before, Scorched Earth also had a mechanic like that, where the wind would shift rapidly if you wanted it to, and Shell Shock Live also has that. I still don't fully understand how exactly this game got as popular as it did, but I can definitely see the appeal. It's a really good time waster, to say the least, and I've covered my fair share of those kinds of games on my channel in the past. Part of the reason why I wanted to play this game today was also due to the fact that I haven't played a proper Flash game on the channel in quite a while as well. I know I played Crisscross Bombs and Satellite Catch in that double feature video from about a week ago, but I think the last time I played like a proper old school Flash game that a lot of people probably have heard about was Cursor 10, and that was more than a year ago now. So I kind of wanted to do another one of those, like, I guess 2015 or 2016 style videos, because I mean, I used to play Flash games a lot more often back in the early days of my channel. There was a time when a lot of the games that I was covering on the channel were like old Flash games, kind of like this. Call it nostalgia if you want, but I just really felt like playing Bowman 2 today for some reason. I don't know why, I just thought, you know, I kind of like to play that old game again, because I don't think I've ever played it to begin with. I've only ever heard about it. I want to actually see what the game was like. So that's my whole excuse there. I hope you guys still enjoyed this video either way. Maybe this brought back some memories for some of you who have actually played this game, like back when you were in like elementary school or middle school. I'm probably not going to be checking out the original Bowman though, because I just don't think I'm interested enough in it. Besides, I think people remember the second game way more than they remember the first one, so I felt it was more appropriate to just check out the second game. And also another reason why I wanted to play this is due to the fact that Flash is going to be killed off at the end of the year, so within just a few months' time, this game's not even going to be playable on any website, so I wanted to try and preserve its existence before it finally gets erased from the internet, or I guess like, you know, have documented proof of its existence once it finally leaves the internet for good, along with Adobe Flash. But anyway, apart from all of that, if you guys want to play this game, the link is in the description. It's a free game that you can play in your browser. You don't have to pay any money for it whatsoever. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video I make. Later!